200.
That's plenty for me.
Traditionally, Telford has been a straight battle between Labour and the Conservatives. 5 years ago, UKIP finished a distant fourth. But in this era of multi-party politics, could things be about to change?
The last time, 2010, we were having to explain to people who UKIP were. We don't have that problem now.
Your support is spread more thinly. If you look at John Hemming in Yardley, all right, they're behind you in headline poll ratings, but they concentrate. He's turned Yardley into a personal fiefdom almost over the years, whereas you're spread out across the piece.
No, well, if we look at Telford, we took 35% of the vote in the European elections. Labour and the Conservatives both took 25%. What we're seeing, Patrick, is we're seeing our vote holding up and a lot of confidence, because 1906 was the first general election since then. We had the European elections last year where a party outside the government or opposition won a national election, and what we're seeing is support for our party continue from across the political spectrum, but also from the people who have given up voting and supporting the other parties.
Let me put to you what a respected social media market analyst, Brandwatch, have found, that on social media the economy is way ahead in terms of voters' concerns, followed by crime, policing, health, immigration coming fifth now. It's a diminishing asset, this, for you.
Well, it's not what we're seeing on the doorstep, and I'm sure everybody else will agree. The primary issues that are coming up with the National Health Service and immigration. And the simple answer from UKIP's point of view is having control of that immigration. Whilst we remain members of the European Union, whether my opponents here like it or not, we cannot have control of immigration, of a free movement of the people from the 28 member states of the European Union. How can any government budget annually for a budget if you don't know how many people are arriving?
Maybe you and he should form some sort of alliance or a
Well, of course,
pact.
The question of the European Union isn't a right-wing thing, it's a left-wing thing. It transcends traditional party politics. But what this boils down to is fiscal responsibility. And we have a situation where it's over 70% of the laws that govern our parliament, that govern the productive sector of our country.
That's not true.
Now, but it is true. Now emanate. I sit in the European Parliament. I see what's happening. Yeah, well, they now emanate in the form of a directive from Brussels. They come from Brussels. And we have an organisation. We talk about fiscal responsibility. The European Union haven't even signed off their own accounts for 19 years.
Let me put to Bill the point that David Cameron is making in Nuneaton today. He's saying that a vote for UKIP is in effect a vote which opens the back door to a Labour SNP government, and he urges people to think very long and hard before they do.
Well, he would say that because he's got to frighten people into voting for him because he's got nothing positive to say. The truth is, it depends what constituency you're in. There are many constituencies in the Midlands and the North where a vote for the Conservatives splits the anti-Labour vote and could well allow Labour MPs in. So it's an absolute nonsense for Mr Cameron to talk this way. People have got to use their own common sense and realise what they want to do. If they want to use that vote strategically, then go ahead. But don't just say it's UKIP splitting Conservative votes. In many places, it's Conservatives splitting our vote disastrously.
So what would you say then to people who are seriously anxious about this? There is clear evidence, and your leader supported this view when he was in Dudley during the campaign, that your campaign has slipped back a little bit recently.
Well, not where I am. You know, Nigel sees a larger view than me, so, well, you know, far be it from me to disagree, but certainly in our areas and across the West Midlands, Cannock, for example, what we've just been talking about, we're going great guns, and I think we're going to get some fantastic results, I really do.
It strikes me, Bill, that the conversations we're having here today, and indeed the reports that we've seen from different parts of the Midlands, point up the issues that really in the final stages of an election animate the conversation: health, the economy, and they are not the core issues for UKIP. Maybe that's why your support slipped a bit generally.
Well, we've been fighting on those issues. Health, I mean the PFI schemes.
They're not your core issues.
They are for me. I'll speak for the campaign in my own area, and we've been fighting on health and on the Dudley group of hospitals all the way through this campaign. The PFI scandal that's ripped off the taxpayer and those things is an absolute disgrace and needs highlighting. We've spoken about that. We want to ban hospital parking charges in England to catch up with the rest of the UK. So we're talking about that all the time, and just to label us as talking about one or two issues, that's not the truth on the ground.
That is the clear emphasis, though.
UKIP's deputy leader, who some tip as a future leader, then set out policy after policy, from a cap on skilled migrants to a ban on hospital parking fees.
Now, I think I've already covered quite a lot of ground for a single-issue party.
Mr Farage, you called your last manifesto drivel. You appear to make policy up on the hoof. Why should voters trust this document?
I genuinely believe that what has been produced here is a first
class piece of work, which I've read, absorbed and understood.
Then real uproar with this question from The Telegraph.
Are you happy that the only black face in the document is on the overseas aid page?
A group of black candidates rose together while other UKIPers shouted shame and disgraceful.